Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming by the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. We talk about music, records, we play records, and also talk to musicians, and done quite a few interviews now and hopefully have some more scheduled. If you missed my interview with Emma Rovich a couple of days ago about this album, go check that out. Great conversation with her and a really cool album called Chroma. If you missed my interview with Corey Weeds, the saxophone player as well as the owner of Cellar Music Group, you're interested in what goes on in owning a jazz record label, I think you'll be interested in that conversation. Go back and check that out. Also recently, I've done all three of these reviews for the Atlantic 75th, the Willie Nelson, which is unbelievable. Go check out that review. The Foreigner 4 head-to-head review that I did, and also the review that I did on the Stone Temple Pilots Purple album. All of those just dropped, so go check those out. But today, going to be doing a live needle drop on this Wallace Roney, A Place in Time, which is a badass record. There's no other way to describe it. This is fantastic music. I've been listening to this streaming in my car back and forth to work over the past month or so, on and off, and I'm really digging this. This guy was just an awesome trumpet player. This is a really cool album. I have not yet opened this. I just got this in because it's been on my wish list for a while, and I finally picked it up. Came in the mail last week on 180 gram vinyl. I'm going to open this up. This is on the High Note record label, and this is just phenomenal. I'm going to open this up and play it for you. It's kind of a straight ahead mainstream jazz. If you like straight ahead jazz, I think you're going to love the music on this. Let's see what kind of a pressing this is. And if you don't know who Wallace Roney is, he was born in 1960. Unfortunately, he died in 2020 at the age of, I think, 59 as complications of the pandemic. And he is studied with Clark Terry and Dizzy Gillespie. So he studied with some of the best, took lessons from some of the best trumpet players that's ever played the instrument. And he also studied with Miles Davis as well. But this album here is just pure straight ahead, intense jazz playing. So I think you guys are going to dig this. Well, let's see what kind of a pressing this is going to be. I think I've got one other High Note release, and it was a decent pressing, but let's see how this is going to be. So pulling this off. All right. So let's see. As I remember, these are pretty basic pressings. Nothing, as far as packaging, you just get a regular paper sleeve here. So unfortunately, no poly sleeve, but this will go into a poly sleeve. So I'm going to pull this out, kind of clean it off, and talk a little bit more about this album. So let's clean this off and drop it. It's got little pieces of paper on it from the from that inner sleeve. So yeah, this guy's a phenomenal trumpet player. Again, I'm interested in some of these modern recordings. I've been trying to do more of those reviews along with the reissues. And this album is absolutely fantastic. So I think this was recorded. I'll give you all the information on where it was recorded. 2016, it was recorded. So it's a fairly recent recording. Intense playing on this, though. I'll let you know who's playing on it once I drop the needle. Okay, it looks like it's cleaned off on the High Note label. I'm going to drop it on the Fluence RT85 at the Ortofon Blue, going through a Shit Mighty preamp into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. Let's see how this sounds. Again, I've been listening to this streaming in my car back and forth to work for probably the better part of a month, on and off. So So this dude played trumpet. This guy's a badass. I mean, see how this sounds here. So I would say, as far as the quality so far, it's a nice mix. I think it's a bright sounding record. Does have, I can hear the bass nicely, the drums sound nice. Doesn't have the most depth to it. Trumpet sounds fantastic. This guy's incredible. Got the piano over here, the drums primarily over here. Trumpet favors the right side, but you can hear it in both speakers. Bass is more to the left. So it's not the warmest sounding record I've ever heard. Doesn't have the most depth. It does sound a bit bright. You can hear everything. The drums sound a bit thin to me. Just from a technical, that perspective. It does have a decent sound stage, you know, from left to right. You do have a nice mix. You do have things going on in both speakers. The playing is phenomenal on here. Gary Bartz on alto saxophone, Ben Solomon on tenor soprano saxophones, Patrice Rushen on piano, Buster Williams, a legend on bass, and Lenny White, also a legend on bass. The playing on this is phenomenal. So I wouldn't call this an audiophile pressing, okay? But it sounds nice. I think if you like the music, you're gonna enjoy it. So far the record is flat and it is quiet. Listen to the playing on this, so it's unbelievable. So this was produced by Wallace Roney. It was recorded at Music Recorders in Hoboken, New Jersey on June 10th and the 11th of 2016. Recorded and mixed by Sean Kelly, mastered by David Darlington at Bass Hit Studios in New York. And this is a 2016 release. So I'll let you read that. About an average jacket, you know. guys are intense players, all of them. Listen to these guys. That's Patrice Rushen on piano. She's smoking it. I think it could stand a little more bass in the mix for me. I'd like to hear a little more. Yeah, that's just freaking awesome. This whole record is fantastic. This is Elegy coming up. That was Around and Through. So even though this is not what we would consider an audiophile recording, it's still something you can put on and enjoy listening to. The playing on this is phenomenal. It's just, if you're into this kind of jazz, you're gonna dig it. Could it be a better recording? Yeah. But it's still an enjoyable listen. Couple little pops there. On this little bit lower, this tune here, you can hear the bass a little more. I'm gonna bring it down and flip the record over, so you kind of have an idea of what 2 of the 3 tracks sound like on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and flip over the record so you can hear some of the other tracks. So you got 3 tracks on the first side, 4 tracks on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit off side 2. The question, some people would ask is, should you buy the CD for $12 or should you buy the record for $20? And that's a good question. I wouldn't say that the record, I haven't heard the CD, I've just heard the streaming, but based on the streaming quality, I don't know how much you're going to be missing out if you don't have the album. In other words, does the album make it a greater listening experience than streaming it or CD would? I guess that would be, debatable. It's just if you want to have this format or not. And for me, I just enjoyed it so much that I wanted to have the record on this one. So playing is just unbelievable. Dude it's a shame we lost him so young. So Roney was from Philadelphia. He attended the Howard University and Berklee College of Music in Boston. Was found to have perfect pitch at the age of 4. This guy's just a fantastic player. This one's called Observance. Again, There's all your players. So I'm digging it. I'm glad I purchased it. Unbelievable playing. So again, I think the bass could be a bit fatter, could be a bit more full in the mix. You hear the highs on the drums fairly well, but what you're missing off the drums is that resonance. When you hit those toms and hit the snare, you don't hear that resonance come off of them like you would these great analog recordings. So again, this is not on par with those classic jazz albums that we hear that have been remastered from the analog tapes. But just based on the record, to me, is worth owning just based on the playing, just based on how intense this is. Awesome playing. So stay tuned. A lot more stuff coming up. I just got this in the mail. I'm going to be doing this review next. Jazz from the Pacific Northwest, Shelly Man and his Men on the Reel to Reel label. And that was, of course, is part of the Cellar Music Group. In collaboration, Corey Woods in collaboration with Zeb Feldman. So this is going to be coming up. I'll be reviewing this, doing a needle drop, talking about this album, which is a numbered edition. So more on that. Stay tuned for that review. In the meantime, go check this out. You're not going to be disappointed with the playing on this. It's badass playing. This is fantastic. Whether or not you get the CD or the record is up to you, but I'm really digging this. So happy listening to all you guys. I'm going to close out on this tune here. Appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys subscribing, supporting the channel, and supporting all the great music. And I hope that you guys maybe come across an album that maybe you didn't know about that you might be interested in adding to your collection now. So happy listening. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.